In the heart of an arid desert, Furiosa and her tribe live in a lush green oasis. One day, Furiosa and her friend venture out to gather fruits. While they're in the forest, Furiosa spots some strangers. Curious and cautious, she sneaks up to their motorcycles and disables one of them. Just as she moves to the next bike, she's spotted. Quickly, Furiosa blows the whistle, a signal her tribe uses to warn of danger, and takes off running. Despite her warning, Furiosa is captured, tied up, and taken away by the strangers. But the signal reaches her tribe. They spring into action with her mother, Mary, leading the charge. Determined and fierce, Mary grabs a weapon, mounts a horse, and chases after the kidnappers. She rides hard, catching up to the slowest one and taking him down. She then grabs his motorcycle and speeds off, continuing the pursuit. As the chase progresses, one of the bandits' motorcycles breaks down. Two of them stop to check for pursuers. During this brief pause, Furiosa secretly bites through the fuel line of the bike. The bandits, unaware of the sabotage, see Mary's pursuit closing in and hastily ride off again. Mary soon finds the abandoned motorcycle and swaps her horse for it, accelerating the chase. As night falls, the bandits stop to inspect their bikes and realize the pursuit is close behind. One of them suggests abandoning Furiosa, but another reminds them of their precarious situation. They know they can't afford to let her go. The bandits argue about what to do with Furiosa. Bringing her back could elevate their status within the gang. As they bicker, Furiosa frees her legs and tries to escape, but they quickly recapture her. Morning dawns as Mary catches up to the kidnappers. Through her rifle scope, she spots them, but the risk of hitting Furiosa is too high since they're close to the bandit camp. Despite the risk, she manages to shoot one of the bandits. The remaining captor secures Furiosa to his back, making it too dangerous for Mary to fire again. He speeds into the camp, sparking a dispute among the gang members, each wanting to claim the girl. The captor, however, claims he has seen a place of plenty, stirring excitement among the crowd. They decide to present Furiosa to their leader, Dementus. As Mary follows them, Furiosa seizes an opportunity to push her captor off the motorcycle, preventing him from revealing the oasis's location. When they reach the camp, Dementus tries to intimidate Furiosa, but she remains silent. He then resorts to deceit, ordering her to be washed and fed, promising to send her home the next day. Meanwhile, Mary disguises herself in the clothes of the bandit she shot and sneaks into Dementus's camp. Furiosa is taken to a tent where a servant begins to clean her up. The servant, spotting Mary in disguise, becomes frightened and begs not to be harmed, promising to stay silent. Mary spares her, but as soon as she and Furiosa leave, the servant alerts the camp warriors. A chase ensues, following the tracks left by Mary and Furiosa's motorcycle. Realizing they can't escape together, Mary instructs her daughter to ride away. As a parting gift, she gives Furiosa a peach seed and makes her promise to plant it and protect the Greenlands. Furiosa reluctantly rides away, but stops to watch as her mother bravely fights off Dementus's men. Despite her courage, Mary is overwhelmed and captured. Through tears, Furiosa watches helplessly as the bandits brutally execute her mother. Dementus tries to bargain with Furiosa, promising to release her if she shows him the way to the oasis, but overwhelmed with grief, she only cries. Frustrated, Dementus locks her in a cage, forcing her to witness the brutal competitions he enjoys. He attempts to win her favor by giving her his favorite teddy bear and offering to teach her to read and write through his historian. The historian suggests that Furiosa could become a chronicler of their tales, but she has other plans. Determined to escape and return to the Greenlands, she tattoos the path to the oasis onto her arm. One day, while searching for the legendary Land of Plenty, Dementus and his horde encounter a mysterious warrior. The warrior claims to be from the Citadel, a place of abundance. Convinced that this must be the place they seek, Dementus leads his followers toward the Citadel. Upon arrival, they face the impregnable fortress guarded by Immortan Joe's army. Dementus delivers a passionate speech, trying to rally the common people to his cause. However, The Citadel's leader proposes a single combat challenge. Dementus's servant points out one of Joe's soldiers, who bravely sacrifices himself by detonating a bomb in the midst of the biker warriors, causing chaos. Despite the setback, Dementus refuses to retreat. A fierce battle ensues. Immortan Joe's men use hook chains to capture Dementus's vehicles and even lift Furiosa's cage into the air. The historian clings onto the cage, and with Dementus's help, they manage to free Furiosa and escape. Rebuilding his forces, Dementus sets his sights on capturing one of Immortan Joe's key military bases, Gastown. He intercepts a fuel tanker bound for the town, forcing his people to disguise themselves as Citadel warriors. Disguised as Joe's men, they approach Gastown, where the guards reluctantly open the gates. Dementus's men quickly seize control, capturing the town and gaining leverage over Immortan Joe. In response, Immortan Joe agrees to negotiations. During the tense meeting, Dementus's people present the head of Gastown's leader, threatening further violence if their demands for supplies are not met. As the situation escalates, Joe reluctantly considers their terms, but then he notices Furiosa among the crowd. Noticing Immortan Joe's interest in Furiosa, Dementus claims she is his daughter. But for the first time in a long while, Furiosa speaks up, accusing Dementus of killing her mother. Immortan Joe eventually agrees to let Dementus rule Gastown, promising to supply the bikers with food and water in exchange for Furiosa and the biker gang's mechanic. Furious at this arrangement, Dementus snatches the teddy bear from Furiosa before she is taken away. Furiosa is brought to a room where Immortan Joe's wives rest. That day, one of the wives gives birth, but the child is born a mutant, causing distress. As Furiosa watches, Joe's warrior, Rictus, notices the bells in her hair. Sensing his interest, Furiosa later cuts off her hair and fashions a wig with the bells. That night, Rictus brings her to his quarters, where he examines her and discovers the star tattoo on her arm, which hints at her home. However, he becomes distracted by the jingling hair and starts to stroke it. Taking the opportunity, Furiosa slips away, leaving the wig in his hands. Some time passes, and Furiosa manages to disguise herself as a mute boy and joins a crane operator brigade. Her fearless demeanor earns her praise, and no one suspects her true identity. Only Rictus once notices her familiar eyes, but before he can investigate, construction begins on a well-armed supply truck designed to withstand raider attacks in the lawless wasteland. Furiosa plans her escape, hiding a motorcycle and supplies under the main truck. During a trip along Fury Road to the fuel farm, the truck is attacked by marauders who have split from Dementus's gang. The guards fight back in a high-speed battle, with the separatists using parachutes and other tactics to try and seize the vehicle. Amidst the chaos, Furiosa slips under the truck to free the hidden motorcycle. A technician, descending to repair a damaged hose, accidentally falls, but manages to pass Furiosa a spare part before he goes. As an attacker approaches the truck and attaches explosives to its underside, Furiosa acts quickly, risking her life to save the truck and repair the breakdown. Despite her efforts, the separatists continue their assault. The truck's driver, Praetorian Jack, struggles to shake off the persistent attackers. In the heat of the battle, Furiosa's helmet is knocked off, revealing her true identity. Jack is shocked to see that the fearless mute boy is actually a girl. With the truth revealed, Furiosa climbs into the cab, and together she and Jack fend off the remaining separatists. In the climactic battle, all the military guards are killed, leaving only Jack, Furiosa, and a mutant who, following her command, releases spiked balls that destroy an attacking vehicle, but dies in the process. Furiosa returns to the cab and attempts to kill Jack, but he overpowers her, throwing her off the truck and leaving her on the road. However, he soon returns, impressed by her bravery, and offers to form a new convoy with her. Furiosa agrees, becoming Jack's deputy and earning the title of Praetorian. Meanwhile, Dementus's poor leadership has nearly destroyed Gastown's infrastructure, causing worker unrest. Seeing an opportunity, Jack suggests they escape, offering Furiosa everything she needs. But before they can act, they discover chaos in Gastown as Dementus fails to maintain control. Desperate, Dementus convenes a council at the Citadel and orders the truck to depart, abandoning the remaining supplies. Enraged, Immortan Joe commands Furiosa and Jack to gather weapons and ammunition from Leadtown. That evening, Jack confesses to Furiosa that he wants to help her because he remembers his parents' fate. Furiosa shows him the star map tattooed on her arm and suggests they leave together. During their final mission, Jack orders the crew to load the tanker with essential supplies and has Furiosa drive the escort vehicle. However, upon arriving in Leadtown, they are ambushed. Jack signals for Furiosa to escape while he distracts the enemy. But seeking revenge, Furiosa takes up a sniper rifle, attempting to kill Dementus. In response, Dementus fires a grenade launcher at her. Believing she is dead, Jack destroys the tower where Dementus is hiding. As the structure collapses, Dementus catches a glimpse of Furiosa saving Jack from falling into the abyss with the truck. They escape on a motorcycle, heading for a vehicle they left outside the gates. Dementus, injured but alive, gives chase. On the run, Furiosa shares the route to the place of abundance with Jack. However, Dementus's men catch up. Jack tries to fend off the pursuers with a rifle, but their vehicle is forced off the road. The two are captured, and in a fit of rage, Dementus orders them killed, with Jack to be executed first. Chained, Furiosa is forced to watch as they torment Jack. As darkness falls, Dementus notices a hand with a star map hanging from a chain. Furiosa has severed her own arm and escaped on a stolen motorcycle. Using her remaining strength, Furiosa reaches the Citadel and reports everything to Immortan Joe. She aids in planning a strategic assault against Dementus. They trick Dementus into believing the Citadel's warriors have gone to Gastown, luring the horde into a trap where most of the bikers are killed. Having lost her way home, Furiosa shaves her head, replaces her missing arm with a mechanical prosthesis, and prepares for the final confrontation. Determined and resolute, she commandeers a vehicle prepared by the Praetorians and sets off alone to pursue Dementus, ready for the battle that will determine their fates. Meanwhile, Dementus and a few loyal followers attempt to flee, but Furiosa relentlessly pursues them across the desert. Dementus orders his companions to scatter in different directions to confuse her, but Furiosa tracks him with unwavering determination, systematically eliminating his aides one by one. After a long and grueling chase, she finally confronts Dementus in the desolate wasteland. Dementus, realizing he cannot escape, lies down before her in submission. He mocks her, saying that revenge will not heal her wounds. Furiosa chains him, reminding him of her murdered mother. In an unexpected turn, Dementus confesses that his cruelty stems from the loss of his wife and children. He tells her that no amount of his suffering will bring back her loved ones, and boasts of his high pain tolerance. Despite her anger, Furiosa beats him, but soon realizes the truth in his words. Revenge cannot alleviate the pain of loss. As Dementus loses consciousness, Furiosa takes his teddy bear, a twisted symbol of his past. He finally recognizes her and proposes that they join forces to conquer the wasteland. Disgusted, Furiosa tosses the toy away. A voiceover narrates that Furiosa imprisons Dementus in the Citadel, using his living body as fertilizer to grow a peach tree from her mother's seeds. This act symbolizes her choice to nurture life rather than perpetuate a cycle of violence. Later, Furiosa takes command of a new truck, secretly harboring 5 of Immortan Joe's wives who wish to escape his tyranny. The scene sets the stage for another journey, filled with the fury and thirst for revenge that defines the new Mad Max movie. The film is a mix of harsh and unpleasant realities, but also carries a deep philosophy and a glimmer of hope, suggesting that even in the most unbearable conditions and amidst the harshest trials, one can remain human and stay true to their goals.